Good evening to all of you and Namaskar. I am again before you to talk about the latest announced results of Vakrangee Limited for Q4 of FY18. As you know, Vakrangee was embroiled in lots of rumors, controversies, doubts, dissensions, etc. during the last 4 months or more. Now, ultimately, it has announced its audited results for both Q4 and for the year FY18 versus the previous year FY17. Now, let us take a look at the Q4 results. The income for Q4 was 1847 crores against the previous quarter Q3 income of 1802 crores and 1145 crores of Q4 of last year. So it means year on year there has been an increase of 61.31% and quarter on quarter also there is a small increase of 2.5%. Now the total income after other income, which is very small, is also following the same thing, 1867 crores in Q4 of this year against 1810 crores in the previous quarter and 1148 crores in the Q4 of last year. So which means 62.63% growth year on year, 3.15% growth quarter on quarter. Now the total expenses for Q4 amount to 1753 crores against 1447 crores of previous quarter and 901 crores only for Q4 of last year. Now here this 1753 crores contains 220 crores which is a one-time expenses. It is explained in the results that we will see later on. So 220 crores is a one-time expenses which is placed under other expenses. So now if that 220 crores is taken into account as such, the profit before tax is just 113 crores compared to 364 crores in the previous quarter and 246 crores in the Q4 of last year, which means there is a reduction of 54% year on year and 69% quarter on quarter in the profit before tax if we place the 220 crores as such in expenses. So the net profit, again placing that other expenses as such 220 crores, you get just 76 crores net profit for Q4 of this year against 247 crores in the previous quarter and 161 crores in Q4 FY17. Now which means the year on year growth is minus 53% and quarter on quarter growth is 69%. But suppose you add back the one-time expenses, it is one-time expense only, it's not going to be there in the next quarter or next quarter, etc. If that is added back, then the net profit plus that one-time other expenses will amount 296 crores in Q4 of this year against 247 crores in Q3 and 161 crores of Q4 last year, which means 84% growth overall if we exclude the one-time expense. 84% growth in Q4 of this year, year on year, and 20% growth quarter on quarter. The total comprehensive income, there again things which are not to be included in profit and loss, so many things are there. If all of them are included, it comes down to just 11 crores against 266 crores in the previous quarter and 145 crores in the Q4 of last year. Now here also most of these things are not to be added to profit or loss. That's what is stated in the results. Now equity has gone up from last year by double due to bonus. 100% it has gone up from 53 crores to 106 crores. Even so, the earnings per share diluted is 0.72 in the current quarter compared to 1.43 in the last year same quarter. Now, last year same quarter was on half the equity. Therefore, it is approximately same as last year same quarter. But previous quarter was 2.31, quite impressive in the last quarter. Now, if we assume that the other expenses are not going to recover, from next quarter onwards, the EPS etc. may be reasonably healthy. The market price at present is 44, and the price earning comes to around 15 on this. Definitely, the results will need to be read in the context of the controversies, doubts, dissensions which were there in the previous 4-5 months. So, here what matters for investors is the income from operations in Q4 FY18 has been reasonably good, with 61.31% higher year on year and 2.5% higher quarter on quarter. The notes explain that other expenses includes 220 crores towards amounts written off as bad debts pertaining to legacy business of e-governance during the quarter ended March 31st, 2018. As you know, bad debts are definitely a non-recurring item, and in all probability they will not be there from next quarter onwards. So if their effect is removed from the results are much healthier. So the same thing with the net comprehensive income. There it states that other comprehensive income or expenses, items that will not be reclassified to profit or loss, is around 59.5 crores, something like that. So, but they are all amounts not to be included in the results. The results also state that company has made an irrevocable election to present the subsequent changes in the fair value of equity not held for trading in the other comprehensive income. The cumulative loss recognized on disposal of equity instruments for the year ended March 31st is 30.86 crores. So something like that is there on equity loss, disposal of equity instruments on that. So previous quarter's results were audited by some other auditor, it says, and they have given an unmodified audit opinion. Likewise, the Q4 FY17 also was audited by some other auditor, and they have given an unmodified audit opinion. That's what the results state. So I am not going to go into all those details. It is for the regulators to say whether they will accept all these things and whether they may call for the unmodified audit opinions of the previous quarters, etc. I do not know. The significant factor is I do not see any significant audit observations, adverse audit observations, to discredit the company. Likewise, all the provisions that are made are, to my mind, they are one-off and not likely to recur. So, I am not going to look at from the regulator's viewpoint, I am going to look at from the investor's viewpoint. From the investor's viewpoint, what I find is that the results are fairly good. The main segment here is Vakrangee Kendras only, and Vakrangee Kendras, the segmental result also I have seen, and it has performed quite well. Its Vakrangee Kendra results revenue is almost double that of the 1 year before revenue, and it is also significantly higher compared to the previous quarter revenue. So I do feel that for investors. Now, I am not looking from the regulator's viewpoint or critics' viewpoint, purely looking from the viewpoint of a long-term investor. I feel the future of Vakrangee Kendra can be reasonably good, and it can come out of all these controversies, provided it does not commit any further mistakes. And the company is well advised to steer clear of all such controversies, etc., and reward the investors. It has already kept a lot of money for dividend, etc., and now it can start rewarding the people. As we all know, Vakrangee investors have suffered a lot of erosion in the value of their investments. So now is the time for Vakrangee to come to their rescue and reward them for their persistence in keeping with the company. I hope my review has been very clear. I am not giving an advice on whether you are going to buy or sell or hold, etc. I have given my opinions based on whatever is available in the results. So, to buy or to hold or to sell is purely your decision. You will have to take the decision. And in any case, wait for what actions the company will take on dividend and buyback, etc. Let us see. So, till then, goodbye. I will come before you with some other equally interesting topic in future. Thank you.